On behalf of civil society and the citizens, Muntu Awansi, thank you. The previous presenter has talked a lot about the basics of the budget, so I will deal with the political questions and maybe the constitutional questions, since that is my bias or area I specialize in. Just for purposes of emphasizing a few elements, budget is the most important economic policy tool of the government, and it provides a comprehensive statement of nation's priorities. As representatives of the people, you are always our eyes and ears, and the opposition specifically then becomes the critical voice of the population as the alternative government to come up with pro-people priorities. In the situation we are in, right honorable leader of opposition, we are in a current fiscal squeeze as a country, but also as a whole group, with a shrinking funding base, including the freeze of donor aid by USAID globally, and that has affected critical sectors, especially health and education in our country. The previous weeks, we saw Parliament debating failure of the Ministry of Education to come up with a A-level curriculum. The process of consultants was being funded by USAID. And the question that Parliament should be asking is who is going to cover the gaps of all sectors in health and education, especially where USAID funds have been withdrawn. Is the current budget framework taking care of that? I was waiting for the director budget to address that. I hope you will get back to that question. Because as a citizen, I expect government to cover its critical sectors like health and education and stop relying on donors and foreigners for these critical sectors of citizens. We have caused a lot of worry to the people living with HIV/AIDS. I know that after the first announcement of donor freeze, the HIV/AIDS clinics called their patients to pick medicine for 6 months. But the political statements going on can also cause some death, because people living on these health drugs don't need to worry about, especially poor people. So if you have people worried about food, most people living with HIV/AIDS, what about a balanced diet? Now they've increased worry of uncertainty over medication. I would expect the leader of opposition and your cabinet, shadow cabinet, to make sure that these critical sectors are covered by government 100%. Whether USAID funds are restored or not, donor funds should go to less critical sectors, and health and education should be funded by government.